Yo guys, it's 1:44 a.m. in the morning. I've been doing this lots of times and I'm really tired and sleepy. But let's just get straight into this. And hopefully this will be under 50 minutes and I can get some nice sleep 2 days before exams. And good luck on exam. So saving the game. Firstly, you need to add the option of saving the game. So I did this in my play game. So when it plays the game, when it's human player turn, it would write down all the options possible. Save those options to option selected. That depending on option selected. N equals current. If it's N, you continue. If it's Y, we just do computer's turn. So skipping a turn basically is this. If it's Q, quit the game. If it's S, it will save the game. So it's S. When it saves the game, we have a procedure here called save game, which is passes on the board and the board size. Board is just how the board looks so far in the game, and the board size is quite important also, because it tells us how many row by how many column it is. So it's quite important that we understand that. So let's just get straight into save game. So save game will have a stream writer, and it will be directed to the txt file you made. You can make it that instead of being directed to the txt file you already made, you can make it that the program makes a txt file and then finds the direction of it, if you understand what I mean. Instead of making a txt file in the folder, the program will make it for you instead, but you don't have to add that. It's never come up to tell you that anyway. But let's just carry on. It's important that you understand the nested loop, because we'll be using this quite a lot. So this is the row value, this is the row to the board size. So let's just imagine the board size is 6. So from 1 to 6 is the row. So for the first row, there's 6 possible column values. So the first row, it would get the first row will get the first column value. So first row will have 6 possible combinations. Second row will also have 6, and this will carry on and carry on. So when the first row and the first column, you will write it down here, I. When it's first row, second column, you write it down here also, because I and A change. So this is quite important that you understand how the for loop works. So we carry on writing this all the way until it gets to the end of the board size. Then it just closes it and disposes of it. It's not important to add dispose, but it's just good programming skills, I guess, which I don't have at all, because it took me hours to do this. And then it would just tell the program it has saved the user, it has saved the game. It would display the menu, and it would tell you it will get in your new choice. This might not work for you, because I made choice a global variable, and I changed get menu choice because I find it quite stupid to pass the parameter name. It's just basically saying your name and asking for what you want, which is quite stupid. You can just basically say, what do you want, instead of saying your name. So basically that should work. So now let's just save it. I already made my txt file here and have the game saved already, but let's just remove this and save it. Oopsie daisy, what's running it? Let's check. Let's just close my game program and go back, close this and save. Okay, basically when you're saving a game on your txt file, it would save over the last game you saved in, so you didn't have to worry about overlapping or anything. It would just save over the last game you already saved in. So let's start our program. Press P, just carry on pressing P again, play the game. We're gonna skip a few turns to make the board interesting. Skip. Okay, that's enough. Now we're gonna save it. Press S. The progress has been saved, and the game has been saved. It gives you the menu choice, and it just plays what you want to do next. So that's basically it. I have added a queue, an option to quit, but I haven't finished programming queue, even though it's just quit, it's to be easy to program. So anyway, now to load the game. To load the game, I added the option here. So L loads saved game. Then you'll also add a case. So L case, we do all these things here. So you need to declare this. I'll show you why later, because you need to get the board. You need to get the board from the txt file you saved, how the board looks, Then you also need to load the game with the board. So instead of loading a simple game, you have to load the game with that board layout. Previously, we just play the game with the player name and board size, but now we need to load it also. It's quite important that we get the board layout. So board layout, you need to declare that, and I also made, that's quite important, I made board size. That's not important, just carry on. Just ignore that for now. Let's just ignore that. So let's get into it first. So let's get load game, which is also a function because it returns. So load game gets a stream reader of the txt file. Stream reader just reads the whole file for you basically. Here what I've done is that it's important because you know how a board size of 6 will have 36 possible thingies basically, because it'll be 6 rows, 6 columns times each other is 36. So it's 36. So it's quite important to know what the board size is, because if you know what the board size is, you know how to draw it. If you can't draw it, then it would look bad. So you need to know what the board size was for the last game. I do it my way by counting all the rows in a game. So when we have a board size of 6, it would have 36 lines in the txt file. This will counter here, and the board size will be the square root of 36. So it'll be 36. It'll be the square root of all the lines in the txt file. So this will get 36 here, and this will become 6. Then you just declare the board. Just declare it, you need it. The number of items is quite important. I'll show you why here. Let me just add some breakpoints. So let me just, for example, load it first. Let me show you how it works. Okay. So this string lines file.read all text will basically do what it says. You would read all the text in your file, and this is here. And as you can see /n/n/n/n. You also have /r, but /r is just basically nothing. /n is the enter. So if you go to your txt file, they're all separated by enter. As you can see, enter, they're all separated by it. So we need to split it into different parts. So var items, line will split, new car, just a character basically, and enter. So we would separate, rn. So we separate everything by /n. Quite tired. So we separate everything by /n. Which is basically enter. So it basically splits everything by /n and saves it in var items. Var items was basically store all the values that is separated by the enter. So if we continue, so now he has done it. He's basically saved it, all the items here. So basically we know that in item 14 we would have the value h, c, c. Basically that's what it tells you. You just basically saved it there. And then this is another nested loop. So first row we will get the values. This is not even important. You can just have this outside, to be honest. I don't know why I did it there. Okay, let's go. So for the first row, it will get the value of item at that point and add the item to it. So the thing is, the items start at 0. So since it starts at 0, then the number of items must start at 0. So it starts at 0. So the board size at row 1 A would have the first item, which is 0. Then we would add +1 to it. Then when it's 2 here, we would have the board item for 1. When it's 3, we would have 2. Then we carry on doing this. We'll always have A-1 point here, because this is how items are stored in, basically, if you understand it, because we're just trying to get the values from here and put them here. So adding 1 will do it all the work. So for example, when it's let's just have an example here. We know that when it's 14, it would have h. So basically row 1 have 6 values, row 2 has 12 values, row 3 has 16 values, so it'd be in row 3, so I will be 3. When I is 3, it'd be 12, then you add 2, so it'd be row 3, column 2 will have that value. So when it's 14, it would also save to it. That's how this basically works. You can test it out for yourself. Then it returns the board layout, how the board looks, because we saved how it looks to here, and we also saved the board size. So this is why I made board size a global variable, so that it would, instead of, because you can return more than one thing, but my program doesn't return more than one thing, it just returns one thing, which is board. Returning more than one thing needs more extra programming, and I'm too lazy to do that. So it returns the board to it, and this is a global variable, so it's stored in the game, so you can refer to it later. So this works. So if you go back all the way back up, board layout, we'll load the game. So this will basically get board layout and how it looks. Then we need to do play game, blah 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 blah, because you need to know how it looks and what the board size is. Let's just do that here. You need to know what the board size is. This is the right global variable. That's basically it. So let's load the game. So we have the name of the player, the size of the board, and the board layout and how it looks. So we have everything that we need. And what's the difference here? Let me think. That's basically it. Nope, it's not. Basically, yep, that's basically it. Because you need to add this here, so when it displays the board. Oh yeah, I remember right now. So previously in your play game, what it would do is that it would set game board. Now just delete it. This basically sets the original how it looks, where you have a H and C and H and a C in the middle of the center. So what I did was I removed it. So set up game board, removed it. I removed it here. It should be here basically. Am I even looking? Yep. So it originally would be here, but I removed it because it basically sets the original game. It's a template for how it looks like firstly. So we don't need that. And display game board will basically have board, which we got from the txt file, and the board size we also get from the txt file. And that is basically it. That is basically it. You might just want to set everything to the new global. That's it. Just set everything to the board size you just made. And that's basically it, to be honest. I've got a few mistakes. But that is it. Thank you guys for watching. And now let's test it out. Hopefully it doesn't crash. I really hope it doesn't crash. This is be quite embarrassing because it works lots of times. And now it has loaded everything, and this is how it looked originally. Yep, that's how it looked originally, and that is it, guys. To be honest, I have showed you how to load the game, and that's everything. If you have any issue, I would recommend checking the student form or commenting below. But checking the student form will be much better. Checking the weekly links will be much better. It's 2 o'clock in the morning, and I'm gonna go sleep. Peace, and